In this video, we will look at how to commit this latest code uh, uh, from Visual Studio into an Azure Repos. So what I have in this video is basically to showcase a fresh or a initial code which is not yet in the source control. How to enable that and push the initial code into Repos so that your other team members and the developers can um, start working on the code. So what I have here is the sample code which I created in one of my previous videos with a demo controller and a weather controller. So to begin with, to commit the code into repos, let's check the project. So I have the Academy that I have a code samples project. If I go into repos, you will notice that I have few set of repos, uh, .NET API and other repos. So what we'll do now is we will push the initial code by adding the .NET API.demo into source control and pushing the code which creates the repository here. So now going back to Visual Studio, so what I can do now is I can say add to source control. And now it's asking me whether do I want to commit into GitHub or repos, Azure DevOps. So I'm going to select Azure DevOps and it's going to bring down all my accounts linked to my email ID here. Uh, Now I have, it has picked up the organizations and it has picked up the project code samples and what is the name of the repos. So once I go ahead and create and say create and push, you will notice there's a new repo created with the source code. So now I'll say create and push. So now it says there is a code committed uh, and it's part of the master branch and the repository is .NET API demo. So if I just do a refresh, now you'll see the .NET API demo. Going back to repos, I can say .NET API demo. It has a master branch and the main branch. So this is the source control. Now if let's say let me go ahead and clean up the code to see to show the progress of how to do and do updates to the code. So let me delete the weather forecast controller and also the relevant files, the weather forecast model. So now I'll just ensure the code is working, post deleting the files and managing that. So it should open up me the Swagger with only the demo controller now. So now I only say demo. I no more see weather forecast. So it is good. So let me go here and commit the changes. So typically in Git, it is a two-stage process. You stage, you commit, and then push. So I'm saying stage, and I'll say new cleaned up. I'm giving a comment. What did I do? Cleaned up the code, and then I'll say commit and push. So once the push is done, if it is successfully pushed, now if I go back to repos and then say refresh, you will see the controller, the weather forecast, and the weather forecast is no more available. So this is the steps on how to push your code, whether it's a fresh new code or updating the existing code. This is a simple way or easiest steps to do. Now in a real world scenario, you will go ahead and create multiple branches, you raise a pull request and merge the code, which you can look into my other videos related to Git to get details around that.